young people and children are not the font of all wisdom. They need they need older people to say, this, you need to do the following things better. Here's your list of improvements, and then maybe you'll get maybe some of my respect. It's the other way around, and it's been the other way around since millennials. Gen X were raised with more of that. Millennials were not, and in the Anglo world, they were raised to be either, you know, perfect trophy, like perfect little kids, or they were diagnosed. They have this condition, they have that condition. Everyone was making excuses for their behavior. Everyone's making excuses for their inability to focus. You know, like, that is really hard for. That's not it's not a given that is a positive for children's development. I mean, I follow this insane Instagram account of a woman who claims her children have, it's a kind of autism. She calls it, it's basically oppositional defiant disorder, but she claims it's a physical thing.
Okay.
The nervous system of the children is so easily activated that they can't go to school, they can't change their clothes, they can't brush their teeth, they can't go to the bathroom. So, like, there's kids out, and she has thousands and tens of thousands of followers, and she does these courses convincing parents to let their children abuse them because it's safe for their nervous systems. And her questions to parents are: does your 7-year-old refuse to go to poop in the toilet? Well, that's probably because his nervous system is activated. So you have to accommodate him. Do you feel like your child is abusive to you? Is your child violent towards you? His nervous system needs to be accommodated.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's not the way traditional parenting worked.
No, absolutely. And I think the challenge is that there is something to it, right? There is, with the autistic people, at some point they can't do something because of the way that their brain works, rather than just of them being defiant. But putting your finger exactly where that point is actually extremely difficult. And I don't believe that we should be on either extremes, like just allowing the kid to run riot because because his nervous system works different. Well,
no, I should say I don't think these children are traditionally diagnosed autistic, because a lot of her content is saying, oh, I know doctors refuse to diagnose you as autistic, but your kids actually are. Like, they're obviously not. They have behavioral issues because they were given no structure and discipline in the home. And
it's, I think there is something just within sort of our current culture of resistance to be quite blunt with people and honestly blunt, but it does sort of play on my mind that there is something about young men where they will accept not authority, but they will accept mentors that they would want to be like a bit more readily than women. That there must be something in us, like something biological, that just means that we females we don't.
Well, we're wayward. Women can be very wayward. That's part of our charm and our ability to seduce is our little wayward. Eve. Sorry, Eve. Eve would not follow the instructions. She would not.
No, she didn't.
But if you men are bred to follow orders. I mean that like that. We don't breed men for that, but men. The most common experience of men throughout the history of mankind, it seems to me, again, not an expert, is you're born, you're put to work doing backbreaking physical labor at a very young age. You're often sent off to a horrifying, like, war violence situation in which you have a very high chance of dying or being horribly maimed. And then you come back and you have to do more physical labor.
Yeah.
Like, and women had their own version of the drudgery and the whatever, but like men are pack animals. Like, I think my husband is one of many boys. He's the eldest and he has 4 boys and he works in very male dominated field. And he's like, men are simple. They're simple. They will fall in line. they fall in line because they identify a leader and they'll just go along with that person, and they don't think about it.
Yeah,
But women are always thinking. We're always, always, always thinking.
I think, yeah, there's definitely something about young men that if they find someone that they respect, that earns the respect, they will take way more advice from them than young women. If you enjoy this clip and you would like to support the show, all you have to do is press subscribe. And to watch the full conversation, you can go right here. I'll see you there.